Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Episode 25 of Cyrus Says was released on July 16th, 2015.
Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Okay, it's called Cyrus Says, although I want to change the name to Pooja. I don't know why. But I must say I'm a little upset over something, and it's something that's in my head for the last 3 or 4 weeks, especially when we had those rains a month back. And that is when you're driving a car, as the poor do in Mumbai, when you're driving a car and there's a puddle near a pavement and a pedestrian is there, do you go into the puddle and give them a wet shot, or do you sort of wait and let them move away and then pass? See, this, I think we should decide this almost on grounds of sex, gender, age. If it's a young man, you wet the guy. If it's an old lady, you wet the lady. If it's a young lady, you don't wet the lady. Because it's always potential for a relationship later. I don't know. I just want to know from other people. Tell me what you feel. Should we wet the poor or should we let them be? It's called Cyrus Says.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Alright, on this show we have Azeem Banatwalla, a super comedian, highest paid entertainer in India bar none.
Yes.
And he's going to discuss 3 important topics. Azeem, Banat and Walla.
Yes.
Oh, and we'll try and throw in little Bobby Jindal and maybe some Rahul Yadav. And if I do have time, the
Maybe
topic
some IPL as well.
of nipples.
Oh, nipples.
Nipples.
Yes.
Never forget nipples. Welcome to the show. It's called Cyrus Says, and I'm Cyrus. Just have to do that because apparently someone might be filming this for a German television channel called Die Guter Gund, which means you have a lovely behind. Let's talk about Azeem Banatwalla, who has joined us, one of India's leading comedians. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
And with you, the funniest woman in China, Chavi.
Oh, that's nice.
And Chavi, because we are actually seeing you as well as talking to you right now, let me just say that I'm seeing your hair for the first time.
Because the lights have made it warm enough that I don't need my headscarf.
Or because you're back from Tibet after 3 years as a nun. But whatever it is, you're here and wonderful to have you. Now, right at the beginning of the show, I had a very important thing, and I want to share this because I think we must, on our podcast, talk about things that are important to us.
Yes.
And don't get into elitism and leftism and who cares?
The common man.
Common man, not common man. I'm saying what bothers you. When I self-drive a lot. I have this problem with puddles. Do I wet the passenger or the person nearby or not? So let's throw to this young man, Azeem.
Well, I've actually figured out that you can do it without wetting people. So it's just like basic physics, obviously, engineering background and all of that.
What a
It's
show
okay, it's
off!
okay. Yeah.
I mean, I set you up as a great comedian. You want to talk about your educational
listen,
qualifications?
eventually-
Comedians are morons. You can never do that.
But
You're
eventually
bringing down
I
our
left
pride.
behind engineering. I'm doing comedy.
You
So
think Rajesh
eventually.
Srivastava is not an electrical engineer. He's not even an electrical anything. I've checked. I've touched him. Nothing happens.
That's okay. That's kind of creepy.
Okay,
But,
so what are you? You're an engineer in?
Computer engineering.
Oh, the big gun.
I know,
Get up,
right?
Chavi. Show some respect. Stand up. Oops.
No, I wouldn't stand up for myself.
I was saluting from before.
You would stand up for yourself.
Sorry?
Everybody should stand
Arey,
up.
he's
I
too
know.
young to have stand-up problems. Now let's move on to the real
Stand up
issue.
comedian, come on.
It's a big joke, you know.
No, but I figured it out. So basically, if you're driving at the same speed and you do not accelerate through the puddle, you're not going to splash them.
What is that got to do with computer engineering?
Nothing.
Then why did you say? Because of my engineering background.
Because you're talking about physics, but you shouldn't have this dilemma. The answer is obvious. You don't splash anybody.
No, but it's fun. Sometimes
boorish
it's fun.
behavior.
No, don't
Sometimes
lie.
it's fun.
boy
Don't
thing.
lie. Azeem, you drive. Don't lie.
Yes.
Do you ever feel that khunnas because you're having a bad day or whatever?
Of course,
Oh my
absolutely.
god, you guys are such
So who do you target?
twerps.
Do you
Like,
it's like racism.
when I'm having a bad day, I don't splash people. Like, it's just that.
Why?
Yeah, because it's just fun otherwise to just splash people.
Oh, when you're feeling good, you splash
Yeah.
people. So you're evil, basically.
Yeah,
That's nice to
basically,
know.
yeah.
I'm not the driver, I'm the pedestrian, you idiots splash.
Oh, that's
Oh,
why your
that
hair
was you this
That's
morning.
why your hair is
Oh.
covered all the time. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, so let me understand. If it's a young boy, would you go for the puddle?
That sounds very creepy. If it's a young boy.
If it's a very young
it's a
boy
very
with a
young
pleasant
boy.
face and nice features?
Well, it's true. I've seen those ads. Daag achhe hote and all. They'll feel happy like, hey, mummy, daag. And
Oh, so then it
feel
cuts
happy
to a
about
surf
it.
ad immediately.
Yeah,
He goes home,
exactly.
his mother removes the clothes.
See, I'm
within-
helping you get sponsors,
And
Cyrus.
bro, within 30 seconds, he's clean. For me, that's fantastic.
That's amazing.
I've met a male like that in my life. What I like setting you up here is you're a computer scientist of sorts, and
More or
you use
less.
your fantastic educational background to give us absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
You just hate people and you throw water
Yeah,
on them
it's fun.
as and
Just
when you
complete
can.
misanthrope.
The only reason you do it is because they are Indians.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is a noble reason as far as I'm concerned. Let's talk about Azeem now. The man, the myth,
Yes,
the legend.
the legend.
Azeem, you're part of a group called the Great East Indian Company.
Yeah, the East India Company left 200 years ago. We are the East India Comedy.
But they didn't really leave. They were asked to go.
Well,
for
yeah, I
visa
mean,
issues.
very politely, it's like, please go back. It's just not like they left voluntarily.
So you're basically what they left behind.
Yeah, basically.
4 or 5 young comedians who are doing...
We were just like, we were unfertilized fetuses. Unfertilized fetuses are eggs, yes.
Oh,
and
you
we
know,
were
for
just
computer
left
scientists, you're
behind.
disappointing me.
I didn't
Unfertilized
study
fetus.
biology.
I don't know what
Unless
that
it was
means.
some sort of crazy cryogenic IVF.
That could have happened. That could have
Really?
happened. Yeah, it could have
Okay.
happened. Mountbatten was notorious.
Mountbatten has nothing to do with you. I've seen all Mountbatten stand up. Not that funny. Okay, let's get back to you. So where do you come from? And I want to talk, of course, about that. No, that's
Usually from home, but I come from Bombay. I've lived in Bombay all my life. I live in Juhu. It rhymes with woohoo, and that's about as exciting.
And
as
is
Juhu
that the
gets.
act?
Yeah, I know. That's
That's
one of
okay.
my best jokes. Actually.
No, my
It's
question,
got
and I
standing
always ask everyone who
ovations.
comes on the show and is a professional comedian, which is very rare, why and how do you get into comedy? This is very important because remember, people listening to this podcast mostly are people who want to be comedians. So they are under
Really?
the age of 7.
Why? Why do they want to do
7.
this?
7,
with their
6
lives?
is when you dream big.
Yeah,
By
that's
9,
true,
you're
that's
cynical. By 11, you join the BMC and make the right
No, so for me,
noises.
I graduated as an engineer. Then I realized it
You
was
keep pushing this engineer thing.
No, wait.
You keep so that you make the other guys like Saurabh Pant and Kunal Rao
No, there's
feel
nothing.
bad.
There's
'cause
nothing
they're
to feel proud
undereducated.
about engineering. Just 4 years of virginity. That's all it is.
And continuing still?
No. I got married. So yeah, 8 years of virginity.
Cut to
basically.
picture of the wife.
No,
Alright.
so graduated. So it was during the recession. So I got placed in a company, and they didn't call me for 1 year.
What?
Yeah, they didn't.
Did
so
they pay you a salary?
No, nothing. They just said you chill at home for 1 year. We'll call you after a year.
So they pay you.
Nothing. They just said wait and we'll call you.
Was this the Congress? Who are you working
No,
for?
I can't tell you the name, but
Does it
the
rhyme with
company.
something?
No, it starts with I, it ends with Gates, so I can't really tell you exactly.
I Gates. Wonder what that is. All right, but just go back a little bit before that when you were like in school and all that. Were you a funny guy? Did people say, "Oh, you're so stupid. Stop making jokes. Stop talking"?
Well, yeah, I
Were you
mean,
a class clown?
people, not class clown. I mean, I was.
You were too
like-
good looking.
Yeah, actually.
And too overeducated because computer
Yeah.
science could have been a class clown.
Must have
I know
been a
exactly.
geek.
He was
I
the guy who
did-
made fun of the class clown.
Yeah,
God,
you
you're
sit
so
in the
stupid.
front.
I was so smart. Like I
First
did
bencher.
engineering.
Chavi,
and I went to a
understand the
time machine
setup.
and came back.
I'm the class clown. He's the guy who makes fun of the class clown. They're two different levels.
No, for
Am I
me,
right?
I was just the quiet guy who had all these stupid thoughts in my head and was too afraid to like put them out because like when I put them out, people would slap me and steal my tiffin. So,
What school was this? Was it at the border? Wagah border? Where were you?
it was the
schooled?
border of Santa Cruz and Villaparle, a school called Lilavati Bai Podar High School.
Sounds charming.
I know, right? I know.
Most
Yes.
of them are hospitals also, no?
Sorry?
Leelavati.
You
that's just
graduate from the
Lilavati.
school and then you go to the
Yeah,
hospital.
you go to the
Apparently that's how
hospital.
it works.
The mental illness is
Yeah,
too much.
but it's okay. They cure you and you go to computer science and then you leave that
Exactly.
and become a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Complete sense.
And you
Yeah.
can support yourself as a stand-up comic.
He can stand on his 2 legs.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, more or less.
Awesome.
More or less.
How much money do you make, Azeem, now that you brought it up and want to tell us?
Last month
After
I
tax,
made about
service tax, VAT
17
included?
17 lakh 84,003 rupees.
In last month?
Yeah, in the last month.
70 lakhs.
70 lakhs. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's great
Little
money.
children, everybody, this is a good
No, but this is
career.
not from stand-up comedy. He's obviously doing something else on the side.
Yeah, no, it was in my video game where I actually won all that money. So. The 3 rupees
You
on
set
top.
up the gag for about 15 minutes and this is it, right?
The 3 rupees on top is
Now-
what
now
I actually made
You
from
can see
doing comedy.
Chavi's hair is actually coming off because we're feeling anguish. Stop that. Okay. No, we don't
Your
want
wife
any,
works, clearly.
we don't
Yeah,
want any
she
jokes.
does.
We want to know about you. So you weren't exactly the class clown.
No.
But you're obviously intelligent and doing well in studies. So quite the paradox to what we expect
Yeah.
when it comes to the comedians.
Yeah, I
then
mean,
what happens? You go to college?
Then I went to college. Then college was great because in school I was like sort of stereotyped as this geek guy who nobody wants to talk to. So I went to college like, aha, I will redeem myself.
Because
And again-
everybody's a geek.
Yeah,
And there were
because-
girls.
No, and then there were girls. Yeah, and it was fun because I looked at girls, and then for my entire first year of junior college, just went and just think, oh my god, it's a girl. What do I do? It's basically just that.
You go from a boys' school.
No, not a boys' school. I mean, it
What?
might.
You had girls in school, but you didn't know what girls were?
Yeah.
What kind of comedian are you? You're an absolute nut.
No,
What's he saying?
I wasn't a comedian at that time. I mean, I didn't know. I was like, girls, what are these creatures?
So only comedians know
Basically,
what girls
puberty
are.
hit very
See, I
much.
didn't know that. I'm talking about fertilized fetuses. I know nothing about biology.
Listen, you're
We have
boggling my little
established
mind,
this.
and I have a little mind, and I mean little. What the hell are you talking about? You had girls in school, but when you came to college, you realized they were girls.
Yeah.
In school, you thought they were boys.
Cyrus.
No, I realized that
It's
I
him.
had the
It's not
ability
them.
to talk to girls.
Oh, okay, all right. But there's still no comic potential as such. No one can see that.
No,
You're more
not
the
really.
studious type.
Yeah,
So when do you become a sort of comedian? How does that happen?
I don't know actually. I mean, I was the guy who would make these stupid one-liner PJs in college, and they would say, "Kya? What?"
But that's the guy who gets beaten up or taken in the shower and made love to.
Yeah, so that happened a lot of times actually.
And you started enjoying it. After which you said, "I'll do an extra year of college."
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much why I did engineering. For the love.
God, I forgot you're in engineering. But you had 2 years before that somewhere else?
Yeah, junior college.
So where was that?
That was Ruya.
That must have been fun.
Not really.
No?
Yeah, it's a very shady place.
What the hell are you saying?
It's a very
lovely
shady college.
My uncle went to it many years ago.
Yeah, no, but we had all these amazing. We just had all these professors whose name were Patil for no reason.
Everybody had the same name?
Yeah, there was S.K. Patil, there was C. Patil, there was another guy who his name we didn't know, but he taught us English, so he was English Patil, basically. And and he was the guy like he couldn't speak English, so there was this poem in college by which we were being taught, "The Bazaars of Hyderabad," I think by Sarojini Naidu.
Oh, who can miss that? My favorite one. Very funny.
Yeah.
First verse especially.
And he was writing it on the blackboard, and he misspelt each word like 3 times. So he wrote first the buzzers of Hyderabad, Buzers, so people start laughing. So he thought, okay, maybe there's something wrong with the spelling of Hyderabad. So it's now become the buzzers of Hyderabad. And it's just all over, and everyone's just looking at him like, what are you doing? And then he threw us out of the class for laughing. And then he came back and he said, please, itna mat maro yaar meri. Like literally, those were his exact words.
Okay, so let me understand this. They were all called Patil, and then in the B.
Wait, you think this is a fallout of the Vyapam? That he got his English position?
No,
but this is Maharashtra. That's
No,
Madhya
let's
Pradesh.
understand. So Ruya College was all Patil as far as you were concerned back
Pretty
in the
much,
day.
yeah.
And now with the BJP in power, I presume they're all Patel, is it?
Yes, more or less. Patel and Shah and so one or two
Which
more.
brings me to segue into our Gujarati bit. All right? Which we're going to get into.
This is cunningly planned.
Yes, cunningly planned. But before we go to the Gujarati bit, you still haven't told me when did you actually become a comedian? You were listening to funny people teach you at Ruya, then you went to engineering. That must have been a great change in your life.
I know,
because
right?
now you found the best women in the country in your college, which was?
Amazing. There were 3 of them. One of them, we can't be sure whether or not she was a woman, but we tried.
You're speaking like you're Brad Pitt, and I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's understand where we stand here. Look at it from their perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, yeah.
But this is the truth about engineering and IIT and everything else. No?
Yeah,
Too many non-girls, and they go on about this nonsense. It's not changed.
No, not really. I mean, I haven't checked in the last 4 years, but
You only graduated 4 years ago?
yeah, 4 years ago.
my God.
And it was really
It's
fun.
a very long course.
No, so I went to this college called Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Technology.
Let's not make jokes.
Okay, no. Which was owned by...
Okay, we'll make one joke. You go for it.
No, it was owned by, so the college was
Let me guess, Rajiv
by,
Gandhi's family.
No, and that's the thing. So it was owned by Vilasrao Deshmukh, the late Vilasrao
Family?
Deshmukh. Yeah, family.
Family in a sense.
And so the college, like, it was just this building, okay, where the ground floor is a wedding hall. The first floor is a wedding hall. There's 2 stories of college, and then there's a penthouse for Ritesh Deshmukh on the top floor.
No way!
So it's basically like they added the
Is it
college as an afterthought. Ki matlab kuch nahi hai to college dal dete.
So is it for Ritesh Deshmukh and friend or just Ritesh Deshmukh?
I don't know exactly. So it was this running joke that we had that while... so he had a penthouse up top, which was basically he would get women over and all of that.
What a
It was
horrible
pretty
place
fun.
to
Why do you presume to
I
get
know.
women over? I mean, why that?
I don't know. So it was basically while basically all the engineering students were doing what Ritesh Deshmukh was striving to do, what Ritesh would never be able to do, which is making a meaningful career. Ritesh Deshmukh was doing in his penthouse what no engineering student will ever manage to do, which is having sex.
With whoever said
whoever.
persons, we
Yes.
don't know gender, whatever,
We don't
not our
know.
business, who
No.
cares? Okay, we're going to have to take a break here, Azeem, not because we run out of time, but because there's a voice in my head which tells me I'm sweating. You see, because you're so sexy, so hot and so charming, that all I can do is feel fluids leaving my body. And I mean, all over my body. Would you like to check?
No!
We'll take a break, we'll come back. All right, we're back here on our podcast. Cyrus says, and I'm very upset because Chavi doesn't like my look. She says that, well, if you can't see this show, but some can, it's a long story.
I can.
Yeah, you can, and she doesn't like the look. Should I face the other way and do the conversation like I do with my wife?
That would be good.
Oh, those were happy times. Okay, let's talk about Azeem Banatwalla. We brought him here. First and foremost, you're famous now as part of this East India company, but you're also very famous on your own for this Gujarati takeoff.
Yes.
So now I want a little bit from there, and then please tell us all about it. How was it born, the idea?
Basically, so that was the time when the whole
Gujarati boles thodu?
Not at all. I do 2 lines of Gujarati in that video. It took me 2 weeks to memorize those lines entirely.
Right.
I have no idea.
Lots of ministers in the government are having the same problem. Don't worry.
No, so it was basically I wrote this whole bit about the Gujarat tourism campaign, which had Amitabh Bachchan, yes, as the brand ambassador.
One of the highest paid Gujaratis in India.
Yes, and it was so poetic because essentially it's a man from UP telling you to go and mess up another state.
It's a secular country, brother. It's a secular country.
And he comes on the screen, he's like, come, breathe in a bit of Gujarat. And you're wondering, like, what is the procedure? Like, are you supposed to snort a dokla? Sniff. Like, what are you supposed to do? So that was the essence of the bit, and just talking about how Gujaratis are just like, the whole world makes fun of them and they do nothing about it. Like, you can't do that with other sections of society.
Gujaratis are quite cool that way. I have a lot of Gujarati friends who are always pulling legs.
And
Parsis,
right?
by the way. Huh?
Yeah, and Parsis.
Then?
But you can't do this with other sections. Like, if you make fun of a Maharashtrian, he'll send you back to UP. Like,
Yeah, fair enough. And also not in Mumbai. But you can do Maharashtrian jokes in
Serbia,
where we are from.
Yes, exactly. And if you make fun of a North Indian, he'll vote you out of roadies.
He won't understand. So
and
we're
okay
there.
Yeah. And if you make fun of a Muslim like me, I'll fly a plane into your house. So
Stop it. This is not that kind of show. We're all beautiful young people here. Don't say that. Yeah. All right. Don't leave out the Jains and the Buddhists. Let's be secular.
It's properly secular joke.
But let's move on to another very interesting topic. Slightly, I don't know if it's sexist or reverse sexist is the right word. So what is this, Chavi? You tell us. Women are photoshopping male nipples over their own nipples. Who does that? That's mean. That's rude.
At least we found a use for male nipples.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what they were for. What they're really for is to make a template out of and to paste them over your own.
But what if the male nipple is smaller than the bigger female nipple?
It is. It's flat.
Generally,
also. Usually it's. I mean, in the ideal world,
actually, no, it depends.
Like,
it's
not mine,
supposed to be flat.
But nipple sizes and areolae.
What do you know? You're not even a mother.
As an engineer, I've watched a lot of pornography in my life.
My God! Computer engineering has come down to that. Yeah. Then I'm an engineer too. If that's all it takes. What the hell?
Yes.
Yeah,
no,
coming back to the areola.
So like
as
the
areolae
or whatever they call.
No, it's not Marathi. It's areola only. You can't just
areolae is just. It's like that's areolae. Sorry.
No. Areola is the part around the point.
Which is much larger. Yes. I've realized.
If one of you could just remove your shirt and I could be able to explain it.
That's a podcast for a reason.
Azeem, no.
Right. No.
No, but I've realized that in like the Indian and the South American sort of countries, the areolae are much larger as compared to like the
because
Indian.
You've been with so many women in these countries.
On my heart,
showered with so many men.
That's a race thing. I think.
No, I think it's just in general, like anatomically, how the people of various ethnicities are designed.
Maybe.
So coming back to the Instagram, is it right to put one nipple over the other?
Absolutely. So you know why
What's
they're
the point
doing
of
this?
that?
Because women are not allowed to bare their breasts on Instagram.
Correct.
But men can walk around bare chested.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they were
now,
taking
can you
photos
imagine
off.
there's not a single man who's going to say, I object?
Well, the women objected because it's not pornography for whatever reason.
So you have the support of the men for the first time.
Yes.
And it's reverse sexism which plays into our hands again because it's actually sexism. I love it. It's all working out.
It's feminist.
It is feminist. So you now want to go nude.
I've never understood
and we have
feminism.
to support you. Well, all along it was objectifying women when we're supposed to not do that. So now we have to objectify you because you want to be objectified because we are objectified.
It's not about objectification.
It is.
No.
Oh,
it doesn't have
you
to
want
be
a
sexual.
nipple-free world where you can walk around and show your nipples. Am I right?
No.
I think all men are in favor of this world.
But do you know in classical sculpture, like none of the statues have nipples?
I'm classically sculpted.
Oh my God.
Tell
Yes,
me more.
Adonis.
No, I mean,
So-
I've been to Elephanta. Lots of nipples there. That's why
There you go.
we love these.
Classical Greek, Roman sculpture. Not
The budget
Shiva,
was
the women.
Elephanta.
The women.
Even
The
ours
budget
is classical.
was Elephanta.
Ours is classical.
Hello,
Ours is the classic.
Florence.
Shivji.
Florence and Milan, the budget was Elephanta. Don't blame him. You try being a stand-up comedy in our time, right?
Exactly.
Bloody hell.
So no nipples. Have you noticed that?
No, nipples is there.
And
it's
even
in
mannequins,
Italy.
until
In
like 5
southern
years
Italy.
ago, had no nipples. Now mannequins
But I'm
in all
like,
the shop
why
windows
do
have
Whoa, what do
mannequins need nipples? Is my point.
Yeah,
I agree.
And how bad can your social life be if you want to stare at a mannequin's nipples? A mannequin.
And they're always erect nipples.
Okay, stop it, Chavi. You know I've got a pacemaker. You say certain
No, but
words
have you ever
I start
have you
beeping.
ever just wanted, like as a kid, I would always want to just like take the
Touch.
clothes of the mannequins and see
No.
what is underneath.
No.
If it's female, maybe.
Yeah,
but,
as a female.
What's with him? What's
that's
with
okay.
you?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's
What?
true.
Indian men have a lot
a
of
kid,
time, and
I mean,
we
as
walk-
a kid,
You're
like
so
you're
repressed
curious,
all
man.
of
We
you.
don't
Especially in
have.
Bandra and all, where you can see the mannequins. Oh no, those actresses. But also mannequins sometimes in stores and stuff. So
No,
you
but
can
as
get
a
that.
kid, you've
Oh
not
my
got sex
God.
education when you're
Yeah,
8 years
it's about
old. You're just
repression.
like-
You didn't get sex education. I didn't get sex.
I know.
So
I
have
didn't
you-
get education also.
Yeah, there you go. We're a failed society as far as
my
males are
God.
concerned.
Yes,
So
clearly.
give us our nipples. That's all
Did
I
you
ask.
ever see this video once for so you know Girls Gone Bad, right? It's
Of course.
I know, it's just like fruits.
Girls Gone Bad is my
God.
favorite.
Girls gone bad.
So
Can't bite
let
into
me
them now.
educate you
It's
guys.
my favorite thing. Yeah.
It's basically like X-rated stuff that was advertised on TV.
Really?
Yeah. So you have to call a 1-900 number or order a DVD, whatever. So there was
It's
a spoof
porn.
ad, spoof ad called Desi Girls Gone Bad, and in it they were like all the naughty bits, and then they would show somebody with like a whole like chunari and all that on, and they'd show her elbow, and they'd put a star on it and cover it, and then they'd like she'd lift her ghagra and
By
show
the
her
way-
ankle, and they'd be like, oh my god, scandalous. So
By the way,
that's-
in certain lighting, an elbow can look like a Azeem.
Yes.
Your take?
A frog.
A frog.
Yes.
A frog, yes. A spotted toad. If such
Very
a thing
sexy,
exists.
very
All right,
nice.
okay, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back and bash a few more communities as well. And I wanted more about the Gujarati takeoff because apparently you have like 1 million viewers, people downloading
Yeah.
you as we speak.
Yes.
There are
Sending
more
you to
people
yourself.
listening to his old Gujarati numbers than there are listening to all our shows together, Chavi. That's the match of this game.
Yes.
So as we take a break, kill him.
Cool.
Kill him. I said kill him, not make love to him twice. Stop! Manas, band karo ye iska. That fake laugh is
I know,
what we
you're
do
so
off
funny.
camera.
You're so funny,
We're going to
Cyrus.
pretend that we made. Yeah. So let's do it again so they really believe us.
Oh, it's like a laughter club.
And then she fell down,
I
and
know.
yeah, and then Shashi
And then
Kapoor stamped on his
I know.
leg.
And Shashi Tharoor came from behind him. Like,
I came from behind. That's enough
yes,
for me.
He was flabbergasted.
Stop it, comedian! Stop pulling my leg! All right, we're back with Azeem Banatwalla on a very special show. It's almost like Karan Thapar meets himself. That's the way I look at my show. It's very serious. Don't want to get into the comedian mind. Anyone can come here and do 10 jokes. You know, they prepare, they're pretty talented, they'll do it. But let's find out more about the comedian mind. So, Gujarati humor that you devised,
Yes.
which is now your special thing. And ironically, we all thought you're Bori, so we thought you'd be bringing that into it. But you don't know your kidus from your lidus or your idus.
Not at all. I have no idea. And the weird part is, so I just wrote this joke, just a generic joke about Gujaratis, which is the first joke that pretty much every comedian writes anyway.
Right.
Which is just Gujaratis, which is just the easiest punchline. It's Gujaratis, Tushar Kapoor, Kurla. Those are the three jokes. that you
Especially-
have.
Tushar was in school with me.
And he was
Same
from,
guy,
and he was
yeah.
from Kurla, right?
Yeah.
No, just what do I know?
No, and it's just that. So, and people now assume that I am Gujarati or I am Bori just because of that. And I said those 2 lines of Gujarati.
A man who
in
didn't know the
stand-up.
meaning of his own surname till he was 27 years old.
Yes.
And a computer genius at that. The irony is
I
unbelievable.
mean, I figured out how to Google stuff last week, so I'm getting
Oh.
there.
But you have
Well done.
I can do that, but I have a very small screen, so I have to guess.
Yes.
Now tell me, give us a little shade of that.
Yeah,
Now,
so
then
I mean,
you'll go and download it immediately, you'll make more money. So go on.
It started out with, so I was reading about this. We discovered, I think 2 years ago, this Earth-like planet called Kepler 22b.
Correct.
Which, when you think about it,
Which is now defunct.
Yes, but when you think about Kepler 22b, sounds like a really skinny guy with man boobs.
Yeah.
Kepler
And from South
22b.
Africa.
Yes.
May I say Afrikaans?
It's like, this is Kepler 22b. Here's my
Yeah.
hot sister, Kepler 36d. This
Yeah.
is-
Who's
and-
71 years old, but
yes.
still in shape. Yeah.
And it's like it's an Earth-like planet, and it's really far away, right? But one of my friends came and he said, you know what? Indians will be the first people on Kepler 22b. And I said, I just thought he was retarded. But then I found out he was Gujarati. And of course, it makes sense because, as we all know, Gujaratis are the most avid travelers in the world, right?
This is true.
Every
Yes.
part of our globe, you
Yes.
will see a
Yes.
sign
You
You
saying.
can name like the
With
most
Gujaratis.
obscure place in the middle of like
Patel Motel.
Iceland. You'll still find one Gujarati family who's been there on a 4-night 3-day package from Jignesh Travels in Parla.
And you'll find a
Like,
dhokla on the trail
Yes.
you're walking on. Just one lying
Like
there.
for all
isolated.
we know, I was saying you already have Gujaratis on Kepler 22b. Like you look through a telescope, you'll see them waving back at you, eating theplas from a steel container, holding up a sign saying Vipul bhai avija. Like,
And a long clothesline.
Yes.
Just outside the main house.
yes,
yeah.
that's like people think that's like those are the rings of Saturn. That's not. Those
Okay,
are
Azeem,
Gujaratis hanging their clothes out.
Azeem, now's the bad news. I'm going to give it to you right straight off the bat. Our producer, who owns the show and will now decide what to do with it, is Gujarati.
Oh my goodness.
He is actually Gujarati. He
Oh my
could
God.
probably be from Kepler
Can
22.
someone get the
B.
gun off my head, please?
No.
Please.
Peaceful community. There's no gun one. No,
Okay.
Nothing going to happen. We're doing a podcast. We're vegetarian. Trust me.
That's cool.
You've used bad language for the first time on our show, and we're going to keep it just to see the reactions
It's
we
wonderful. Like FIRs on my name.
get. Okay, let's move from your FIR to something more interesting, which is topics for the day now, because we want to get your comic insight onto what's happening in our little world here outside. IPL. What's happening to cricket? Do you like cricket?
I was a big fan of cricket, but
Till you
again,
started betting.
Rajasthan Royals?
I was actually a Rajasthan Royals
Really?
fan for the first year, but I got very disillusioned after the whole spot fixing scandal because to this day it blows my mind.
But isn't it a mistake in the name itself? Shouldn't it be Rajasthani Royal? Because if you're from
Yeah.
Rajasthan,
No.
then you should be Rajasthani.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you can't be Rajasthan Royal.
of course
No,
you
you can't. You be Rajasthani Royal.
No, it's
Or in
not
English,
an
you be
adjective, it's a
of
noun.
Rajasthan, the Royal.
Rajasthan
it's
Royals.
fine.
Come on now. That's
It's okay,
reasonable.
man. So this is why they've been disqualified
Obviously,
for the
it's a
IPL on
grammatical error.
grammatical
It's a
grounds.
grammatical
Yeah.
bloody error.
Not an error.
Now, coming back to Chennai Super
Yeah.
Kings, isn't it supposed to be Madras Super Kings?
It is.
Yeah.
Because, I just traveled
Exactly.
to Chennai and they put MAD on the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
let's
airport
leave it
is
there.
still-
Let's
Yes.
just leave it there. Let's move on.
No,
so
but
you
I
used to be a
was
cricket lover, you're sitting.
Yes, I was a big fan of the Rajasthan Royals as well, and like to this day, Rajasthani Royals, and to this day it blows my mind.
Oh, mind. Okay.
That just because I'm a Muslim, I'm not going to blow things up.
Oh!
Come on.
That was not where I was going, but anyway, go ahead.
No, but it blows my mind that people paid Srisant to bowl badly.
Yeah. at that phase in his career.
Listen,
I
he's
like
been-
my Srisant.
He's
Yeah.
been doing it for free all his life. Yeah.
What I found really funny was the towel. I mean,
Yeah,
what
and
kind of
the towel,
signs are
it's
these?
like-
I'll pull the towel
Yeah.
twice. I'll scratch my arm.
It's like
three times.
like Salman Khan came onto the pitch along with him. They're doing the towel
Yeah, I mean,
dance.
might as well
Imagine
do
how
the-
alert you have to be. Like, oh shit, was
What
that?
happened to
What was that
subtlety?
one supposed to
I
be?
know nothing against cheating, but be a little subtle.
Yeah.
How can you arm waving like air
Maybe
traffic
they have,
control?
like, notes
Yeah,
written
this
here.
is the ball.
No,
They
and
write
it
it on
was,
your
it was
wrist.
just terrible because it must have been so frustrating for the bookies as well, who were like trying to get Srisant, because like, okay, Srisant, you have to give away 10 runs, okay, in this over, and he's like, bro, my economy rate is 14, like what do I do?
Improve for the next match.
And the bookie also gets frustrated, say, yaar, ye Munaf ka number nahi lag raha hai kya? It's like, oh, acha, Munaf ke paas phone hi nahi hai.
Munaf did a wise thing. He retired before the IPL ended. He's a smart guy. Okay, so quickly, your take on what's happening with this. Firstly, can I ask you, is betting such a bad thing?
Why
Why can't we just let people bet
I
if
don't
they're just
understand.
betting? That is. Not match fixing,
fine,
of course,
right?
but betting.
It would just make so much sense, right? It would remove this whole underworld that we have related to betting. You just make it legal. I mean, football betting in the UK or the Premier League.
In the US,
it's just,
they have-
yeah.
Betting in those countries is a job. You can actually
Yeah.
be a bookie. You can actually
Yeah.
go to work there.
Exactly.
It's lovely. I tried to do that, but it was too
Yeah.
short. It was, people
It's basically like,
look over the counter and look at you and
Yeah.
make eye contact.
It's like how like the underworld over here is what bookies are
where
over
you
there.
participated in a lot of activities, so you know
Yes,
more about
yes,
it. Tell
of
us,
course.
do tell us, Banatwalla, about the bloody underworld.
The underworld, it's nice. I mean, I've hung out with
The
Dawood a
basement
few
of your
times.
building,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yes.
It's nice. Dawood is a very good guy.
Yes,
Dawood
yes.
is my driver, of course.
Of course.
And, yeah.
He used to sell fruit, but now he's changed
Yeah.
profession.
Yeah.
Oh.
He makes cars also, the Dawood.
So you're affiliated to which gang exactly? The East India Company.
The East India Comedy Gang.
Yes,
Yes,
very
we
scary
terrorize people with our
Oops.
humor.
Oh my God!
What's your group sign? Your
They put their middle
tribe.
finger in their ear and start dancing.
Yeah,
wildly.
that's pretty much our group sign,
your gang sign.
gang sign. It's just a
Your
logo.
gang
Pretend you know what she's saying.
Yes, I know.
You're supposed to be
Oh,
the
that
underworld.
one, yes,
the group
yes.
sign, huh? The gang
Yes,
sign.
the group sign. It's
Gangsta.
It's like the
Gang
secret
handshake.
knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
It's like knock 3 times and tell knock joke. That's basically what it is.
Knock 2 times and I can get a dirty vulgar thing in my mind, but let's leave it at that. So Mayappa and then Kundra banned for life, right? Thing to
I
do?
think so.
They're just betting. As far as we know, they're not match fixing.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, if you're looking at it as if you own an IPL team and you're still betting, I mean, just don't buy an IPL team and then just bet. No, it's just as simple as that.
So in Gujarati, we'd say if you win the toss, always bowl, don't bet.
Yes, exactly.
You can take a minute now
Yes.
to digest that.
I'm going to put that.
Hug
I'm
each
going to
other.
release a
Hug
new
each other.
YouTube
Hug each
video
other.
with that exact
Yes.
joke.
Point at yourself and say, I'm responsible. All right, so what about Srinivasan's stake in this whole thing? Now, he owns India Cements. They banned them for 2 years.
He owns India.
He owns India. Gurunath Mayappan he used to own, but now he's saying, I'm not involved with any of this. I mean, there's a corporate liability of being the boss of that
Basically, he is Indian cricket Sepp Blatter. Like that's
What?
basically.
whole...
Yeah, it's
Sepp
true.
Blatter?
Sepp Blatter of FIFA, who we discussed
right.
10 episodes before.
Not a Sepp
I
Blatter.
When you said you were in love with Messi
Sorry.
and you
That's like
called him Leo.
Leo, yes,
and I was like, how and
I
why?
heard it wrong.
That's not like a urinary condition. Like, yaar, mujhe Sepp
But you know,
Blatter
that's
ho
a very
gaya.
good,
Like,
that's a very good analogy because he's hanging in there and so is Sepp Blatter.
Yeah, I think, but Sepp
You have to
Blatter
really push them.
He resigned last week, if I'm not
Sort of
mistaken.
resigned.
Sort
It's
of
still
resigned, yeah.
murky. Because
Yeah.
he speaks 7 languages and one language is resign. The other language is my daughter's name is
still
Isabel.
Yeah,
So it's totally
basically.
like not making sense.
Yeah. But I think he is like that.
Is this something about us Indians that you do in your stand-up routine as well? That we never take responsibility and accountability. It's always...
Never.
We find a way to... Okay, he's not guilty in the sense of actively doing anything, but he is part of a whole organization, which he owns.
Yeah, basically that's how it is. Now everything in India is treated as a business. Like it's just a strategic business investment that at some point is going to make you a lot of money. That's basically what's
So what you're saying is the Prime Minister should never resign.
Never.
No matter what happens or goes wrong in our country.
Never.
He should stay exactly where he is.
Which is outside the country.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Vyapam, which is pronounced more Vyapam.
Vyapam.
Vyapam. See,
Yes.
he knows, the young kid. Azeem, you had a little take on this.
Yes, so
And
Vyapam...
it's been going on for years. Let's just set
Yes,
that up.
I think
Yeah.
it started in the 1990s. So for people who don't know, Vyapam is basically...
1657.
1657, exactly.
Aurangzeb was not paying
Yes.
attention. Boom. Vyapam.
Yes. And Vyapam, I think it's the Vyavsik Pariksha Mandal. That's the
Wow.
full form of it.
Stand up, show respect.
I know, it's like
huge.
Awesome.
This is the greatest man ever.
Nobody knows what either of those three words mean.
And
Like,
computer science is loss, is linguistics is gain.
yeah, nobody knows what those words mean.
Why would you even know that? Are you just so intelligent it stays in your head? You
Yeah,
can't
it's
help it?
true. No, but like the target audience for this segment is like Javed Akhtar. Like it's basically he
Yes.
knows these three words.
So what Javed has listened to his own show. Hurry up and talk, Javed.
He actually lives in the same building as I do. He's a
Are you
very
all
fun
friends?
guy. Yeah, he's friends with my dad and.
Apparently he's very funny.
He's really funny. He's hilarious. He comes.
Can you do a Javed Akhtar takeoff?
Well, I can imitate him. Well, no, I don't want
Well,
to imitate
take off,
him.
I didn't mean clothes and all. I just meant just imitate him.
No, but he's a fun guy. He's randomly
Come on,
come
do an impression.
running.
Don't
no,
run
he's
away.
actually come running to our house. one day.
Azeem, come on, man. Are you doing it or not?
Fasle hai to I don't know.
Come on, it's lovely. Come on.
No, he lives
he's
in my
very
building.
sporting.
He's my neighbor.
Azeem
Yeah,
is
okay.
very sporting. He's a huge icon. You
I
think
don't
he'll be
even
worried?
know. दरख्त के पैमाने पर जो हम बैठे हैं फरहान बेटा जरा चाय ले आना.
last film didn't do well, is it? Mean.
Just my heart, my dil is hard going right now.
No, but you're a big fan.
He's a really fun guy. He's come over and randomly in the middle of the night he's come running because my dad's the secretary of the building. He comes running
Wow.
to the house and I open the door and he's supposed to be like asking me a question and like telling me why he's here, but he's looking down on his feet. He's like, यार चप्पल पहनने भूल गया. Like basically he ran
so
down the
fast.
stairs because he was in such a hurry.
And he wrote so many stanzas on the way that he forgot to put on the slippers.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, do I give you new chappals? Is this why you have come? Like, I know we are poor, but we don't sell chappals. I'm just...
Okay, let's get back to Vyapam. I love your Javed Akhtar story,
Yes.
but I felt there was so much emotion involved in it, and he lost me at some point.
But it's amazing, right? So this entire scam of basically in Madhya Pradesh, all the jobs that you have are government jobs, right? There's no nobody has actual work apart from government jobs over there.
It's not just Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, pretty much.
Go on.
And all of the exams, the PMT, the pre-medical tests, all of those have been basically rigged for years, where you have a fake guy coming and writing. They Photoshop pictures of the guys.
Which is the
People
you
take
have
buses
technology
from other states
Yeah.
to come and give these
Listen,
exams.
you have technology. It happens in marriages.
Yeah.
People, remove the thing, the pallu, and you're sitting in. It's happened to me twice. My first two marriages, and it's Mr. Sharma. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know,
No, and it's
Pause
ingenious the way they've been doing it. So many places where they you have your what do you call it, your hall ticket, where they before the fake guy goes in, they change the photograph, and once he comes back out, they change it back to your
Very
photograph.
nice,
In some places they Photoshop such that half the face looks like you and half the face looks like the impersonator.
Yeah, and then they can't stare at you. And then they can't stare at you too much because they
obviously.
start feeling bad doing
like,
that
ah,
also.
thoda
But,
bahut-
my favorite in this whole scam, I don't know, Chavi, if you've been following it, is the leaving the blank paper
Yes,
and
that's
giving the
really
blank paper
charming.
up. And then the other person
And
has
it's
to-
amazing how they do it, right?
Why did that happen to me? All those years of school and college.
You weren't in
think of
Madhya
that.
Pradesh?
I would have been if I knew.
Yeah.
So and it's not
It's
just that,
expensive.
right? It's not just that. You leave the paper blank. They assign you random marks. They'll assign you maybe a 85. Then they file an RTI claim
yes.
saying that we want to check whether this guy's cheated in
And
his exam,
then
and
they
then
re-put it.
fill in the answers. This is
to match
genius.
to match the score.
Yeah, this is genius. Like they deserve an award for doing
It
this.
shows a virtuosity in the whole thing.
So we're so good at coming up with roundabout ways to get where we want to,
No,
but
and
not to actually apply
not
them
just
somewhere
roundabout
legal.
ways. You go and you get yourself a pat on the back for being judicious.
Yeah.
You've actually gone through it. You've double certified it, and then you've given it. I think as far as innovation goes, you
Amazing.
have to imagine thinking if you have this system working for you back home in college. You've got chemistry the next day. You'll be drinking in a bar all night. Are chemistry tomorrow? Hey, one more bartender because come give.
So
Come
I
back.
used to have friends in school who wrote what are called farras in Delhi, these little cheat sheets, right?
Yeah.
So they spend
Also was an
hours
actress.
all night
Yeah.
making these minuscule
Yeah, I used to do
handwriting.
that
The
as
conch
well in
sheets.
my-
The conch
Wouldn't
sheets.
you just rather
That's how you
study?
pass computer
Yeah.
science.
I just don't get you people.
I mean, you
Everybody's so
study
trying to
and
get a
all
quick
But the really
shortcut.
dumb and dumber version of that, the Indian who writes on his hand, which you've got his algorithms and all that, and he's got space for two things.
We used to write stuff down on the desk, like formulas.
how
and
much?
stuff.
Really?
I mean, cheating is one aspect. Chalo, you cheat and get 5 marks extra. It's one.
Cheating
one
in your
thing.
marriage is one thing, because that should
exactly.
be allowed. But otherwise, I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Personally, I just don't. Have you
It's
cheated on your
completely
wife?
wrong.
Have you ever done that? Have you
not-
cheated on my wife? Have you
Yeah,
ever
I
done
have
that?
cheated on your wife several times.
Sweetie.
I know.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Lots more hard-hitting thoughts with,
It's Kunal Rao.
Kunal Rao. Kunal Rao. Jeez. Alzheimer's happens to the best. Yes. Remember the whole... Yeah.
I know, and the way we killed him.
Oh God, it was really funny. And then Javed Akhtar, he said, Roja, how come you're so talented? Of course.
I know, yeah.
And then he fainted, and then I left the party.
It was fun, yeah.
Azeem, what happened after that? Shah Rukh and you went for a bike ride, apparently.
Shah Rukh and me, we're old friends.
How did you land up in Shirish Kundar's arms? I don't understand.
I don't know. It just happened.
And is Vivek Oberoi really your son? Because I feel that this is not true.
I mean, it needs to be addressed, this fact that Vivek and me, we're not father and son, we're just good friends.
But he should not sit on your lap in public. I feel it's wrong. I just feel it's wrong. And I'm not, phobic in any way or form. But let's go back to information that has just hit me thanks via a certain thing called Googlo. And Googlo tells us that we've got a lot of interesting, one subject which I think we must talk about. Now we Indians, as you said, Gujaratis everywhere, Indians are everywhere. Bobby Jindal, believe me, not his Christian name.
Yes.
Ironically.
What was his real name?
Piyush. His name is Piyush.
It's not Bobby.
Really?
I don't. Bobby is very common in India, but it's not your given name. It's a
Bobby
name
was a girl's name in the movie.
No, but this is just like the
That was
ultimate Punjabiness, right? It's just the ultimate
I love my
Punjabiness. Like
Punjabis.
Piyush, Bobby, his wife also changed her name to Jolly.
No, they
So
really
it's basically-
in case they go back to Ludhiana,
But
they're still
Jindals are not
comfortable.
Punjabis, are they?
They are. They're
Jindals can
Punjabis.
be, they're Marwadi Punjabis. It's a
But it's
long-
awesome.
unexplained.
So it's Bobby and Jolly. That's like that game you used to play in school, like Jolly and Bobby.
I think it's our version
Game
of...
did you play in school?
Like Jolly. Didn't you remember? You
I
would
think it's
put
our
that
version
pen
of-
mark on
No.
your hand and it's like Jolly.
She was in school...
Ages back,
yes.
man. I
Goes
don't know
back
what
a bit, yeah.
young people are
But
doing.
I would think if it's Bobby and Jolly, it sounds more like Snow Brown and the Seven,
Yeah.
They have names like that. Dopey,
Yes.
Jolly, Brownies. in
Sneezy,
India.
grumpy,
Yeah.
horny.
Okay, but let's talk about him. He's getting flack because they're appearing to be whiter than the white man.
Yeah.
And embracing the whiteness of America.
With his Republican
rightly so.
Confederate
Rightly,
leanings,
which,
yeah.
fair enough.
I mean, I don't know. Like it's so weird because basically he got to where he is completely based on the brown base that he had. Like he built an entire brown base when he was in college.
how many
when he was
people,
just coming up.
how many brown voters are there?
Quite a few. Quite a few.
And then
in
4
America,
million,
US.
5 million across America. I mean,
Yeah,
come
but
on.
that's still, I mean, that's still
America,
a
Okay,
reasonable
so let's
amount.
say he gets that whole group. Okay, that's
Yeah.
something.
So he got that whole group and
Now he's lost
basically-
them all.
Yeah, and he basically rode on top of their shoulders all the way to the top and he's like, brown people. And he's trying to convince himself now that he's white. That's the problem.
But see, some brown people are actually conservative enough
Yeah.
because they left India in the 50s
Yeah.
or 60s and they stayed in
But
that
aren't
area.
brown people who think they are white Mexican? I mean, isn't he like totally off camera? I mean,
He's like, hey, say, I'm a Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hombre.
I don't know why I'm Italian for
I
this
don't know why
accent.
you're Italian. I'll do the
Yeah.
Mexican.
Mijo.
Hombre, show me your name.
That's right.
Yeah, much better. No, but let me just tell you one thing. Is there a reverse racism lurking here? It's sort of a problem with all of us in our Indian
You want to
DNA.
distance
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, that
from
deep
the
down we hate
brownness.
being us.
Yeah, I think
Bobby
it's true.
certainly
I think it's
does.
true. I think
Yeah,
it's true.
no, in the sense that he's taken away that Indianness. He really has. If you've seen the tweets and all, he's totally become almost like a right wing. I don't want to say
become a
neo-Nazi,
Bushi.
but he's going Republican and
Basically,
hardcore.
he is the ideological fair and lovely for India.
He is.
Yeah,
He
he's
is. That's a
basically-
good way of
he's-
putting
And he's not a bad-looking man, and I mean
Yeah.
nothing by that.
And it's awesome if you've seen like this portraits of him and all being made where he's just painted himself as a white guy. It's actually true.
Is it really enhanced, or is that just people being mean?
No, it's actually the portrait has been painted in such a way that he looks like a white guy.
looks
It's really
white.
cool.
It's
terrible.
like Jesus is white.
Yeah.
Bobby Jindal is white.
So why
now.
not?
Why do you have to bring religion into it? I have to worry about all kinds of people
It's
out
the same
there.
thing.
No, but coming back to Bobby Jindal, so do you think this is going to work at all? Do you think the white establishment will embrace him now?
No, I don't think so.
Or he
You don't
loses
think so?
everything?
I don't think so.
suspect
And the
they
only
will.
people voting for him will be Mexicans.
Yeah.
No.
Because they're confused.
I mean, listen, like Obama was far enough, I think, as far as they're concerned. It's like, acha, we've got
they
a
made
black
that mistake
guy.
once. Now let's go back to the old.
And listen, you know what they say? Once you go black,
You never
go brown.
brown. Yeah, rightly so. Because you've reached where you should be. Fair enough. So Bobby Jindal, bad news from Azeem. He doesn't think your career is going to go anywhere. But he's a good-looking politician. So if he comes back to India, he'll be amongst the best looking here.
Yeah,
And
actually.
no disrespect to Kejriwal and, Naidu and all the others that we see all the time. Anna Azhar is not really a
And he
politician.
has an accent.
Nobody knows
we love
who he is.
people. We love people with accents, so I think everyone will vote
Yeah,
for him.
I think that's his fail-safe, right?
Yeah.
His backup plan is
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to succeed in America.
like,
And
please vote
America's
for me.
crashing anyway. Might as well come back to the homeland. And thank God you are Bobby and Jolly because now you'll fit in. Sector 42 presents
That's
Bobby.
like that's
Bobby
like
and
every person who's ever gone to the US is like, yahan pe nahi ho raha, come let's run family business back home. That's basically what it is.
But it's amazing because when I go there, I always get a feeling that the expats really miss India and are very proud of the Indianness more than we are. They know the
Definitely.
national anthem
They're
backwards,
sort of-
the second verse, everything.
It's sort of cemented in the
Yeah,
past.
so he's like the paradox who's suddenly gone there, and I think he's just been advised. They spun it this way that you need to leave the brown population because we look Pan-American now. Go and get a bigger chunk of it, and so just assimilate into the white population.
I think he's trying
quietly.
to go with like the Red Indian angle.
What
Red Indian angle?
genocide? What are you talking
What?
about?
handing out blankets with plague in them.
Yeah, what? Getting people drunk so they won't.
No,
vote?
just because he looks a little bit like an
Stop it!
American Indian.
Stop
He
saying
does.
anything more. You're very
No, he
politically incorrect.
doesn't.
You're a dangerous
He
man.
does.
Go back to computer
He
science.
He does. Like, you just
The
picture
Native
him with
Americans
like
are
a
gonna
hat
spit
with
on us. We
feathers
just
and all on
lost
it.
an
He
entire
does wear a
audience.
Stetson, by the way. Really, that's another strange thing.
And I
Brown
love-
man in a Stetson just doesn't work.
But it's
Subhash guy tried it, failed.
But he has amazing stuff. I was looking at his website the other day, and he has on his website there's a petition where he's asking people to sign a petition to stop ISIS. I'm like, if it took a petition to
Wow,
do this,
really? Just write a love letter.
like, it's just
Dear
like,
ISIS,
just like
enough
like
now.
ISIS guys,
Please
we
stop.
have 1,000 signatures.
1,000
Come
We
on.
need to sleep.
Like, and who are these people? Like, no, don't stop ISIS.
Breakthrough thought. You've destroyed Bobby Jindal's political
Yes.
career in 5 minutes.
Yes.
All right, but he may get back with ISIS. That's the best we,
We
can
could.
offer.
That's where-
All right, one more quick topic. Rahul Yadav, ex-CEO of Housing.com. Azeem, apparently you have a certain bone to pick with Rahul Yadav. Who is this guy?
You know, Rahul Yadav is what do you call it? Lalu Prasad's nephew.
Correct. Correct. And of course, born to be a CEO
Yes,
from day
and
one.
I love it the way I just love the way he quit. And did you know that he created his own website just to stick it back to the people?
Oh, really?
Yeah, where he
What is
created
it?
a
Rahul
website
Yadav?
called www.housing.ceo. Where it's basically an FU message to all of them, and it's a picture of him half naked and flipping them off. It's
is he in a
amazing. You should
towel
check
and,
it
like,
out.
Flipping them off.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's
How
amazing.
politicians
I
have
missed this,
changed.
man.
In the old days, the hands would be like this. Now it's all that. Yeah.
That's lovely. But he's a really weird guy, man. We've been trying to figure it out. He dropped out of IIT, then he set up housing.com.
How did he get into IIT?
Exactly. And like, why would
The
you
door
drop out?
was
It's such a
open.
waste.
Huh.
Like, you spend 4 years and you're just like, nah, I'm not doing it. Like, what's the point? But I don't know.
And
There's
he
a
was
big...
ragged really badly.
Chami, this is coming from a computer engineer who spent 4
Yeah.
years doing engineering
I'm
and
trying
now
to
stands
see-
at Laughter Comedy Canvas Club.
Correct.
And,
So no empathy
twice a week.
here? Like, what could have driven him out of engineering college?
I don't know. I think he just... Like, honestly, even I wanted
I
to
have
leave
the
after
answer,
2
guys.
years.
I've researched the same subject. Basically, when Nitish Kumar said that he's going to ban alcohol in Bihar, this guy went berserk. He just absolutely said no more, no mass, and he walked out of IIT and never
Yeah.
to return.
Right.
And it's the right decision, Azeem?
Absolutely.
No doubt. Do you
Absolutely.
drink a lot?
As a Muslim, I have to say yes. No, but he's a really weird guy, right? And there's this whole debate going on as to whether is he a genius or just a complete idiot.
No, come on.
Wait.
Wait, hello. Is there a debate about this?
Yeah, there's actually a debate
So,
going
so
on.
there are people on the side of genius.
Yeah, there
Are they all
people
Yadavs?
saying-
Or is this somebody
No,
else?
no.
Possibly.
There's the IIPM guy also. He's not a Yadav.
Really, fair enough.
But the
First
IIPM guy, I
cousin.
mean, if you're taking him seriously, there's like something wrong.
He finally has had to quit, right?
Yeah,
After how
finally,
many years?
yeah.
People have taken him seriously, sent people to
Yeah, I
his
mean, I think it's just
institutions.
the ponytail which
Yeah,
is
the
the problem.
ponytail
It's
was the
just-
problem. I thought it was the best feature.
Yeah, it's like Hercules. Like, he lost his ability to con people
That's
without
Samson.
the ponytail.
Samson.
Sorry, Samson.
It's okay. It's okay.
okay,
Just
it's
skip
okay.
about
He's
4,000 years. We'll move on. All right. We've got another segment coming up, which is about questions.
About you.
Where we ask questions about me to me, mostly written
That's
by
nice.
me. And
No.
Azeem, you can answer them or you can ask them as well. All right. But Azeem, as we go into the next segment, or rather into a break and then the next segment, let's pretend we've had a great joke.
Oh, the way you deliver that punchline.
Meeting
It's like
point of
Bobby
minds.
Jindal and Rahul Yadav consummating their
Boy,
love.
really. It's very sexual, our content. No?
Yes.
And funny.
And funny.
But more sexual.
Yeah.
Actually, it's only sexual.
Yes.
It's very erotic. I think I'm wet.
Stop.
Okay.
Cyrus Says, ask me anything. If you want Cyrus to answer your questions on air, send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com. If you send us a link to a sound file on SoundCloud, we'll even play you asking the question in your own voice. And that's what Cyrus says.
Welcome back with Azeem Banatwalla, who's just told us a joke.
That one, this is the best by far.
And the fact that you actually said it in Sanskrit, which
Yes.
is now our language
It's
of instruction,
Yes,
as far as I'm
absolutely.
concerned.
Shloka, Al is Urdu.
Okay. Take your time and I'll do my Sanskrit as well. Bhartindraya Tappa.
Inna Raskala. No,
That is probably Devanagari in
yes.
some way, but not exactly Sanskrit. Chavi, you want to take a dig at that? Your language skills include beyond Punjabi and English and
Yeah,
maybe-
troszeczkę po polsku.
How dare you? It's not that small, my brain. All right, moving on. We've got the AMA. Now, Azeem, this is a very simple section where questions are asked by my producer, pretending to be
Okay.
other people.
That's nice.
And we
That's
answer
such
them.
nice. These are real questions, Cyrus.
What are real questions? We won
From real
Wimbledon.
listeners.
Sania Mirza won Wimbledon, but doubles. Leander Pace won Wimbledon, but doubles.
But theek hai na?
What the hell? Did you see that bit where Leander Pace is talking to the camera and Djokovic actually drove by? It came on CNN, IBN channel, I sort of know. And And the amazing part is, Djokovic tells him, "You're my inspiration," and all he does is keep laughing. And it's really, you got to just hear Leander. Leander laughing is like another animal. He just laughed for 5 sets. He didn't stop. I was amazed.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but not bad. 16 Grand Slams for the old man. He's 42 years old.
He's really good,
42,
man.
Yeah, he's got very powerful legs.
No, and I love going out for
him.
dinner with him also.
You also. So name drop. Come on.
No, I like to go out for dinner.
You,
because,
Javed Akhtar and him going to bike ride together at
and
Marine
we all
Drive.
go out and Leander pays,
Oh, God, no. Quick, save us with the EMA.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, concentrate now. This is a long
Okay.
question from somebody called Curry Brother. Okay?
Okay.
So it starts with, Dear Adam and Eve, I think he means you both.
Okay.
Okay. Can
Apart-
I be Adam? I got
Like,
this.
I'll be more like Abdul for like...
Can you be...
Adam, you can be.
Adam, huh?
What do I have to be the girl all the time? I'm the girl. I don't
Yeah.
want
Parsi
to
girl name, Eve.
Eva.
Eva.
Eva, huh.
Okay, focus. Apart from desperately seeking a
us to focus.
Cyrus-esque retort to a Parsi observation by a prominent 20th century author, also write to convey my most sincere gratitude I have for your podcast. Both of you have been... It can't be you then. I think it's me.
It's Azeem.
Both of you have been
It's
my
Azeem and
only
you,
tonic for
not
bouts
me.
of privileged depression I have been experiencing the past few months after having come to London to pursue a business venture. I would like to know what Cyrus has to say about this observation made by Aldous Huxley in his travelogue Jesting Pilot about the beloved Parsi community. Okay, so you have to say what you think about this.
Okay, should I say it before you say it? Or
No.
I should
Huxley
wait?
writes, on the quay, awaiting the disembarkment of their relatives on board our ship, stand 4 or 5 Parsi ladies, all ugly as only members of that exclusive inbred race can be ugly.
Disgusting.
I don't
Inaccurate.
write this to create ill will amongst the show and its listeners and myself. It's just that I would like to hear Cyrus's unedited,
I think
heartfelt reaction to this.
it's just rude, disgusting and racist. It can't be 4 or 5. It could have been 3 maybe. But 4 or 5, I mean, that's just not on. Azeem, it's not right for me to comment. You should comment on this.
But first
as
of
an
all-
neutral observer from outside.
First of all, I just have to say Aldous Huxley just sounds like a character from Harry Potter.
Well, he had his
He's
own brave
dating
new,
himself,
he had his
this
own brave
child.
new world in the background. So,
He
you know,
did. And
Yeah. But I mean, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. I find my wife very attractive. Everybody else does as well. And so that therein lies the problem.
Is she Parsi?
She's anything you want her to be. Not so. But Azeem,
No, but
do you like
I
Parsi
feel
women?
that,
Say nice things.
I feel that
Have you ever
they're,
dated a Parsi girl and stop telling me about your feelings?
No, but I feel that
What the hell is your feelings got to do with it? Do you like Parsi
No,
girls?
Parsi women make great sandwiches.
That, oh, oh God.
Because
that's
they're
nasty.
inbred. Sorry.
That's terrible. Really bad. Mean
So
boy.
do you think 4 or 5, like all of them are ugly and inbred?
What does it matter?
No, there
That's
are-
his
there's so many
observation.
pretty Parsi
We've had
women,
7
man.
Miss Indias who are Parsi. Do you know that?
7?
Yes,
Yeah.
7.
Persis Kambata.
And Dinah.
Aishwarya Rai Brocha. There was Sushmita Sen
He's got the
Tata.
list. He's got the list. So there you go. I made my point. You've got it. We don't fabricate
I'm
stuff
trying
on
to
this
think,
show.
how many pretty Parsi girls do I know? Quite
There
a
are
few.
plenty.
There
How
are
dare
lots
you?
of pretty Parsi
Don't be
girls.
racist. There are plenty of pretty girls. But as you age, as most women and men do, sometimes you do look a little off here and there.
You know, I went to
and
a-
Aldous Huxley was way on a ship. He was millions of miles away.
It's a small
He saw a
subclass.
Dalmatian. He presumed it was Parsi. You know, I mean, all kinds of things could happen.
Yeah.
Perception is everything. Perception.
You know, I went to a Parsi speed dating thing once.
Yes. And what happened?
There were 19 girls and 56 men.
And did you get lucky?
Are you kidding?
Lucky
I was
means
not.
that you get away.
I escaped. But the 56 men were really not the best specimens I've ever
But that's
seen
not
in my
fair.
life.
I mean, that was pretty much
John
the
Abraham
entire
is Parsi.
community all there. Like the 75 of them.
I'll give you some proof. You decide. Okay, I'll give you 3 Parsis who are famous, and you tell me if they're good looking or not. John Abraham, Parsi. Okay.
He's half.
Yeah, but he's Parsi. He looks like a Parsi.
He's
Come on, for God's
gorgeous.
sake. Sajid Khan, Parsi.
Sajid Khan
Mother's
is Parsi.
Parsi. Yes, yes.
Also
2.
half.
Farhan Akhtar, Parsi. So that's how do you do?
Farhan Akhtar?
Mother's side Parsi. Where do you think the looks come from? With due respect to your
Hani
friend.
Rani.
Of course.
is Parsi. Yeah, Irani.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Hani Rani herself was quite.
Okay, we spent 15 minutes on this bloody question. We've mentioned every Parsi that lives
What
in the
about
community.
Daisy Rani and
Stop it.
the other?
Bomani Rani.
We'll have to get them on
Bomani
a
Rani.
separate show. We can't name everyone.
You're too
now.
young to know this. Who is that actress here? Who's
Aruna
in
Irani.
Aruna Irani. Quite cute when she was
Okay,
young.
done. The Irani trophy over. Move on.
From Amrish. Cyrus, what do you think of E.L. James releasing Grey, the 50 Shades of Grey book from the guy's perspective?
But what's the point? You did
girls
such
have
good
read
work
it.
with the old perspective of
Like,
S&M
listen, men
and
have no
humiliation.
interest in having such like writing tomes about sex. You just do it in 2 minutes and get
It's
it
not
over
for
with.
men.
No, and in any case,
But from a man's perspective.
Yeah, but
have you
who's
read it?
reading it?
I've read 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I've read it.
All right, and I marked there's only 9 parts which are sexual. Actually, there's a lot of rip-off there. You wait years and years. I mean, she's going to work. She meets her boss. I mean, just goes
Right,
on.
basically, it's like
when it come
Indian-
down to the actual thing,
It's
it's
Indian
not that
pornography. It's basically that.
much. Mills and Bones, 2 words. Mills and Bones,
Listen,
much more
E.L.
bang for
James
your
has
buck.
gone on the record to say that women she's talked to read it for the romance, not for the sex.
No, nobody reads it. They're waiting for the movie as far as I'm concerned. Nobody's
Movie's
actually
come
reading
and
it.
gone.
Oh, it's come and gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Azeem, damn, you do your research? You come on my podcast.
Now Grey, and then she's going to write 2 more books from Christians.
I thought 50 Shades of Grey was talking about the BJP's performance in the first 5 years. Let's go on.
All right, from Amit. Nowadays, when we all watch things at our own chosen time, not necessarily when something is released, what do you think are appropriate spoiler rules for people to follow so as not to spoil endings? I ask this as somebody who's been spoiled 3 times on major plot lines of 3 different series.
This
It's
is a real
annoying. It's
issue.
really
He's hit it
irritating.
on the head. What do we do? I have no idea. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, like it's really annoying. I've had
And throw
Game
live
of
sport in
Thrones-
as well. If you're
Yeah.
like your football
Yeah.
and you tape it, wait
yeah.
till the morning.
And all
So
these
Spoiler
spoilers,
alerts, yeah.
even the IPL, your bookie messages you all
Yeah,
these spoilers.
all the
man.
time.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, and your bookie and my bookie are the same. That's the
guy,
problem.
yeah.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Kunal
what is
Vijaykar,
this
you
to
can't
do?
do this.
Chembur. He calls himself Kunal Chembur because of the area from which he was thrown out. Hence the bookie.
So do you think the warning that says spoiler alert is enough?
no, but how do you stop yourself? It's
Yeah, I
not
mean, you
possible.
can't like your human brain generally.
I think all series, at least fiction series, should not have an end.
Yeah.
They should stop just short of ending, so no one can
this like
spoil it.
basically
I hate
every
people who
series.
think like this.
Every
No.
series should be The Bold and the Beautiful. That's
Absolutely,
right.
yeah.
I love The Bold
You
and
guys
the
are
Beautiful.
horrid.
Or any
Amazing.
Karan Johar early picture, because I don't know exactly what happens after they all meet and dance.
No, but Bold and
Dance,
the Beautiful
yeah.
specifically is a great way
it's
to
also
run a
Karan
show.
Johar picture. You just
Yeah.
haven't
It's still running, right?
It's still
25
running.
years?
Still running?
And I love it because during engineering days, I was so bored in life that I actually got addicted to The Bold and Beautiful.
Do you remember the names of the characters?
Yes, all of them.
Name
Brooke?
4.
Rich Forrester, Brooke Logan.
Logan.
What's
Brooke
his
is the
name?
one I remember.
Brooks,
Ridge, River, Pierce,
No,
Chase.
and they all
They all have
Thorn,
these-
Give
Yeah,
him
Thorn.
a
Thorn.
chance.
Yeah.
Thorn,
Not bad, huh?
Betty,
Wow.
Thorn changed, no?
Sally
Remember?
Spectra.
My God, he's got 5.
He's good.
Betty?
I'm
There
good.
can't be a Betty on it.
No,
That's
sorry.
just too prosaic. Rubbish.
No,
there's
yeah,
no
there's
Betty.
no Betty, sorry.
It has to be
But yeah, the way you threw it in with confidence, I
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah.
Because I would never know.
Sally Spectre.
Sally Spectra. She's the woman with the huge
She's
hair
the
who
bad
died
girl.
recently.
She's the villain.
Yeah.
No clue.
But all of them, see, the thing is, the show has been running for so long that everyone has been a hero and a villain at some point in the show.
And they age nicely also, no?
I thought
lovely.
Ridge was very
Ridge
handsome.
now,
Yeah,
they
I
basically...
I was actually depressed
Is
when
it
he
true
said
they
he's
prod,
not.
they prod
going to
the
be on the
actor
show
with
anymore.
sticks and move him?
Yeah.
Almost. And now he's
It's like
basically...
John-
he's green screen now. And
Yeah,
they
it's
just sort
basically
of-
it's like the whole John Abraham treatment that they
Right.
apply to
Well,
it.
that's mean. John Abrams is very athletic.
Yeah, I mean, the pores on his face work very well.
Oh, that's mean. I think he's a fine actor. Arjun
Pores?
Rampal.
Arjun Rampal is nice. He's a good.
I still like Millens.
Top 5 actors for you, Azeem. Fast. Now you brought it up.
Top 5 actors: John Abraham, Kamala.
That's
Khan.
two.
For acting?
Then,
Or for what?
Okay, so my top 5 actors will be John Abraham, Neil Nitin Mukesh. That's 5.
fair. Done. You got me. Next question.
That's it, we're done.
That's it. Thank you, Azeem. You've been wonderful. Thank you so
Yay.
much. We'll end with a joke which we actually don't say but we react to. All right?
Oh, super!
Good-
What
good
a
stuff,
joke!
good
What a
stuff.
flair! Wow!
I can't believe Narendra Modi said that to me.
I know,
I
right?
mean, I'm not even part of the government. And there's so much love. So much
Oh yeah, it's just this
Yeah.
Modi wave.
Yeah,
It's like
but
surfing
what I
on it.
can't understand is why did Sushma Swaraj call you into the chambers?
Well, she wanted me to explore the Chamber of Secrets.
Right.
The Chamber of Secrets. If you
what I don't understand,
Chamber.
why were you seen with Venkaya Naidu in a disco in Hyderabad last night?
No, that was actually Venkatesh Prasad.
Yes, who could be at 6'5", mistaken for Venkaya Naidu at 5'4" at any given point of time? Azeem, Banatwalla. Cheers, big ears.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the IndusVox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.
All right, Cyrus Says is wrapping up, but we have Geek Fruit, which we want you to check out, hosted by Uber Geeks Tejas Menon and Jishnu Guha. They're like Simon and Garfunkel, except they're Tejas and Jishnu, and they can't sing. No, they can actually. And they talk about geek culture. If you're a geek or want to know about geeks or live with a geek or just next to Turkey is geek, go ahead, my friends. Listen to Geek Fruit.